are taking to support the global Samud frontier. I'm proud to welcome Mick Flynn.
Bonjour, Liverpool! Okay, my name is Mick Flynn. I'm Irish, but I live in Marseille. I've worked in Marseille for 20 years, and I've been a CGT member for 40 years in France. And I'd like to bring the greetings and solidarity of my organisation, Trade Unionists for Palestine Marseille, Syndicalistes pour la Palestine Marseille, to all of you here in Liverpool today. And a shout out to the dockers of members of my union, the CGT, who are stopping arms going to Israel. But also a shout out to the dockers in Genoa, Piraeus, Barcelona and Tangiers, who are linking up with our comrades in Marseille, and we're stopping the arms going there. Now, I had the privilege on last Monday of representing the CGT Marseille in Genoa at the invitation of the Dock Workers Union of Genoa and the USB, which is the General Workers Union, during their one-day general strike against genocide and to protect the flotilla. And I must say, my eyes have seen the glory of working class people, rank and file trade unionists, young people, bring the cities of Italy to a halt, blocking the ports, stopping the trains, teachers, students, school students out on the streets against genocide. An unprecedented historical movement, a political strike against genocide. Now, the reason why that is so popular is that the USB trade union, which is a general trade union, have members on the flotilla, leaders of their union on the flotilla. And they said at the launch of the flotilla, Israel, if you touch our boat, if you touch our comrades, if you touch our flotilla, we will shut Europe down. And that is a call out to all the trade unionists all over Europe to take action. Now, the CGT, my union, we have members on this flotilla as well. We have a stake, we have skin in the game. And our union has promised the same action. We will escalate action and take strike action if our comrade is touched. One for all and all for one. But listen, no struggle is small, too small. So I'd like to give a shout out to the Decathlon workers in France who took a one-day strike to force their company to divest from Israel. Shout out to the workers in the airports in Paris who refused to ship arms to Israel. Shout out to the Brussels baggage handlers union who are refusing to handle flights to and from Tel Aviv. So listen, comrades, that's the way forward. Rank and file workers' action on the shop floor against genocide. Talking to the government is like talking to the wall. Talking to the bureaucrats in the United Nations is like talking to the wall. We need workers' action. We can do it. And remember, as I said, no struggle is too small. Remember the Dunnes Stores workers' strike in Dublin. 1984, 2 young women refused to handle grapefruits coming from South Africa. And that escalated into a strike and a movement that took 3 years, but it forced the Irish government into a total embargo on all trade to and from South Africa. So shout out to those women. And that's an example that we can follow today to smash the Israeli economy and bring them to their knees and stop this genocide. So what can you do? I know that Unite the Union have passed a motion that says any members of their union that takes economic strike action, whatever, boycott action in their workplaces against Israel, they'll back them up. So if you're not a member of a union, join Unite and start to take action now. And that's a phenomenon. that we have seen in France and Italy. Young people are joining unions to fight against the Israeli apartheid, the Israeli colonial regime, and to stop the genocide. So, shout out to those young people who are taking that action. And finally, shout out to NECAP. Shout out to their victory. They stood up to the British state. And Irish people know what it's like to be persecuted by the British state for centuries. And they're doing it again. As NECAP says, the Brits are at it again. And Keir Starmer is one of those Brits in that tradition of genocide against colonised people. And listen, I think we should also remember our brothers and sisters in the Congo and the Sudan, because they are facing the same enemies, our enemies, that are genociding the people of Palestine. Now, on a final personal note, every day, and some of the speakers here, the Palestinians, have been reminding us of the heartbreaking news that's coming out of every day of from Palestine. And our hearts, as the song goes, are torn in every way, and it's sometimes it's overwhelming. But I want you to remember the words of one of the greatest Irish women that ever walked this earth. And her name was Mother Jones. Now, if you don't know who she is, look her up. She was one of the greatest trade unionists ever, also, Irish trade unionists. And she said, pray for the dead, but fight like hell for the living. Thank you very much.
Free, free!